So, in this video, we are going to explore what all things can be done using scatter diagrams or scatter plots. Let's quickly recap what we have learned. We have learned about three type of correlations. So, one is a positive correlation, one is a negative correlation, and one is no correlation at all. Let's look at how this is going to help me in understanding and predicting future events using scatter diagrams.
These are pictures of scatter diagrams. And there are four things they could ask you in the exam. So let's go through the four things they could ask you. The most simplest thing they could ask you is to describe the relationship between the variables, relationship between the variables. And that is where you would say the words positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation. Okay? You would use that. So, for example, there's a positive correlation between the amount of time you spend revising and your math score. The second thing they can ask you is to plot a point onto the diagram. Now, just be super careful that you read your axes so you know exactly what each little square is going up in. So they've asked you to do that before. The next thing they could ask you is to draw a line of best fit. And I'll show you exactly how to do that in an example. And the last thing they might ask you is to estimate a value using your line of best fit.
So, what are these four things we are talking about? So, through a scatter plot, we can explore different things. One is the relationship of how x and y are dependent on each other. Like if x increases, do y increase, or if x increase, do y decrease? Or maybe there is no relationship at all between the x and y. So, plotting a point is basically us trying to understand the skill whether we can actually plot for if for a given x can I plot a y, or for a given y can I plot an x on the scatter plot. Now, what is this line of best fit and where is it used? Let's quickly understand what a line of best fit is. So whenever you see different points on the scatter plot, it is so when analyzing a scatter plot, it is very helpful to add what is called a line of best fit, because it helps us actually visualize and understand what type of correlation it is there and how strong this correlation is. So if you look at this particular one, now I know that the slope of this particular line of best fit can be a positive or a negative, because I know that if the line is going upward, then it's a positive correlation. If the line is going downward like this, then it's a negative correlation. So what happens when I cannot draw a line of best fit? It means there is no correlation at all. So in this particular example, you can see that the both of these correlations share the same line of best fit. However, the data points on the right hand side of the graph are much closer to the trend line, right? This indicates that this level of correlation between the two variables, which is the x and the y, is much stronger than what is there in the left side, right? A low correlation can be interpreted like where maybe it means that these two don't have such strong positive correlation or something like that, right? Now let's also understand what we mean by the fourth point. What is estimating a value using your line of best fit means? Now, as we have seen that this line of best fit actually helps me understand whether this is a positive or a negative correlation, right? So it is actually showing me the trend that is happening in this particular scatter plot. Now, whenever I have a trend, remember how I told you scatter plots can be used to predict certain things. So, estimate prediction is nothing but estimating. So, if you remember in the previous video, we have seen how we can actually predict according to the time duration of the eruption when will the next eruption happen. So that is what we are going to learn in estimating a value. Let's look at an example that is very close to the questions you will see in the IGCSE exam papers.
So when this question comes up, and it's come up every year, it's usually for 3 or 4 marks, and they ask you a combination of these. You can copy this down with me, and we'll go through it, and I'll try and teach you all the various elements that we need to do.
So it's always important for you to read the question and understand, oh, what is the scatter diagram about, and then read the labels and understand how the x-axis and the y-axis have been divided.
So this question says, the scatter diagram shows the information about the height and the weight of 9 students. Okay, so the height versus the weight of 9 students. So the height is along the x-axis and the weight is along the y-axis. Now, before you launch into the question, just think what everything's going up here. There are 5 squares here, and you go from 0 to 10. So each one must be worth 2. So on this side, put a little note to yourself that each little square is worth 2. Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's very important you think about that. Now, what about going along this way? What's each one worth? Well, there are 10 squares here, and there is a difference of 10 between 110 and 120. So each one's worth 1 along here. So just take a moment to do that before you even look at the question. Right, what do they ask us in this question? They say the table shows the height and the weight of 3 more students. On a scatter graph, plot the information from a table. So what did I say? The first thing they could ask you to plot a point. So let's go back here. We have to plot 135 centimeters versus 70 kilograms. So go along here. 135 is here, exactly halfway, okay, versus, what do we say? 70. So looking up here, 70 is exactly here. So put a cross there, like that. Okay, the next one. 155 against 75. So go back up here, 150 and 5 against 75. Well, that was 70. So 75 is exactly halfway between 70 and 80. So it would be there. And the next one is 170 versus 85. So go back here, 170 versus 85, exactly halfway between 80 and 90 would be there. So we clearly got our 1 mark there, no problem. What type of correlation does this show? Remember I told you they can ask you to describe the correlation? Well, they have. What type of correlation does this show? Well, as the height goes up, the weight is going up. So there's a positive correlation. So you can just take positive correlation between, and state what is between, the height and weights of the 9 students, or in 3 more now, so 12 students. Now, part C is for 2 marks, so it must be involved. It says the weight of another student is 80 kilograms. Estimate the height.
So whenever you need to estimate the height, you can't directly start estimating. You should always draw the line of best fit. It will actually give us what kind of trend that particular correlation follows. And it also gives us a clear idea of how close the points are. Right now, you will watch how to make a line of best fit.
Now, this is the key word here, estimate. Whenever you see this word here, it means 2 things. It's asking you in a hidden way to draw a line of best fit and read off that line. If you don't draw a line of best fit, you will not get the mark. So go back to our picture. Our line of best fit, here's a few that are wrong. That's wrong because it can't go past the first data item or the last. So that's the reason why that one's wrong. This one's wrong because it doesn't show that trend at all. Now, some people might say this one's right. Have a look at this. Because you have roughly the same number above and below. That's not right because it's not showing a positive correlation. So what you've got to do with the line of best fit, Here's your little tip. You need to do two things. You show the trend, i.e. if it's going up, and you want as many above and below, as many above and below and online as possible. So you want as many above and below, the same number above and below, and as many on the line as possible. So something like this is a good one. Let's have a look. You start off here. You'd start off somewhere in line with here. That's a decent one. Let's see why. Let's highlight why that's a good one. We've got 1 on the line, 2 on the line, roughly 3 on the line, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 below, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above. That's a decent line of best fit, okay? So that's going to be my line of best fit, and I'm going to read off it. So 80 kilograms. So you want to go to 80 kilograms, and you must draw these lines. Find 80 kilograms. You're not allowed to just read off it without drawing a line. 80 kilograms there, and that marks it just about here. And you read down here, and it's about 164 centimeters. So you would write down there 164 centimeters is your approximate height.
So you have understood, I think I hopefully like I hope that you understood how to use a scatter diagram and how to actually estimate the height. Always remember line of best fit is very important to estimate the height.